Pikachu is the face of Pokemon, so I wanted to see if it was possible to beat all of Pokemon Scarlet using just one single Pikachu. And I tried. Here's what happened. Oh man, I slept in! I'm gonna be late! Yeah, I'm here to get my starter Pokemon. Sorry kid, you snooze, you lose. All 3 starters have already been claimed. But I can offer you this overweight rat. Oh my god, he's so chunky and perfect. I'll take it. Once we arrive in Los Platos, we can finally use the mystery gift function, and boom! There's our adorable little mouse. Somehow, this one little Pikachu would have to try and take on all of Pokemon Scarlet by itself. On that note, I want to know which Pikachu is your favorite. Like for Ash's Pikachu, subscribe for Sinnoh Pikachu, or comment below for the pudgy Gigantamax Pikachu. Anyway, I got to training and had Pikachu decimate the local Psyduck population, basically doing this for 20 minutes. This got us to level 10, so I charged up the hill where Nemona was waiting for a battle. Luckily, I've gotten plenty of practice destroying ducks because Nemona has a Quaxly. So we fry that bird's brain with a Thunder Shock, taking it down very quickly. Next, she sends in... Wait, what? Who are you? Identity theft is not a joke, poor me. Regardless, our Pikachu is the original and best electric mouse, so a few quick attacks clean up poor me, giving us the win in Pikachu's debut battle. Nemona gives us some revives, but I think you need these a little more than me. Now we've made it to Mesagoza. And look, everyone knows that Pikachu loves snacks, so I bought some good stuff from the shop, fed our chubby little mouse, and oh my god, Pikachu, were you always this chunky? No, I'm just imagining things.
But what I'm not imagining is our awesome sponsor, Honkai Star Rail, a brand new space fantasy RPG. Here are the 5 main things that you need to know about this incredible game. First, Honkai Star Rail is made by Hoyoverse, creators of the popular game Genshin Impact. Second, it's a free-to-play game with turn-based combat, which I know my audience will love. The gameplay is incredible, with an immersive story and rich strategies for you to try out in battle. The characters are gorgeously designed, and there's such a huge roster of characters to choose from that you'll definitely find one that suits your style. The music and graphics are amazing, giving players a top-tier audio-visual experience. And finally, it officially launched on April 25th this year, meaning it's out right now. So click my link in the description to download Honkai Star Rail for free and start playing one of the most anticipated RPGs of 2023.
We have a new student joining us. Red, tell us about yourself. You don't talk much, huh? Once we're given our quests by Nemona, Arven, and Cassiopeia, Pikachu and I are finally free to explore Paldea. After utterly frying some more birds out of the sky, we made our way to Cortondo for the first gym. For our gym test, we have to push this olive around and... my Pikachu ate the olive. That's okay, we always keep a spare just in... Fine, you passed. Just get that Pikachu out of here. Now we can take on the first gym, and this is where we get to show off that our Pikachu is special, because the mystery gift Pikachu has these balloons, making it a flying Terra type. While this is an insanely good Terra type for Pikachu, I've decided to make this challenge even harder by banning the changing of my Terra type. So, our flying Pikachu will have to stay as a flying Pikachu for the entire run. And to make things even better, our Pikachu also knows the move Fly. I don't know how our chunky rat is capable of flight, but somehow he defies all known laws of physics. And this is bad news for Katie's bug types, who are all weak to flying. So, our soaring Pikachu can bombard her bugs with Fly for enormous damage, cleaning up her entire team without much trouble. That's our first badge, and while it was straightforward, we have some insanely tough fights on the horizon. Damn, you've got a big Pikachu too! The first of our tough battles is against the Crab King, Clorf. This guy hits so hard, and Pikachu is so frail. The end result is that we were absolutely crushed within just a few turns. After also losing my second attempt to a critical hit, it was clear that this challenge was not going to be easy, and it's made even harder by the fact that I'm not allowed to use any items from the bag in battle. So we were gonna need some big brain strats. This time, I have Pikachu use Charm, which harshly lowers Clorf's attack. 2 of these turn Clorf from a demonic crab overlord into a cute little little crustacean. After a nasty plot to boost my special attack, we hit Clorf with the Uwu Nuzzle, leaving it paralyzed. With this combo, Pikachu's Electro Balls do enormous damage, with 2 of these balls taking down the giant crab. I think my Pikachu is a little too big for the camera. That's our first Titan defeated, so now we can move on to the next gym in Artisan Town. Since this one uses grass types, it was time for our Pikachu to once again take to the skies. And to help our chances, I bought a sharp beak to boost our flying moves, although the idea of a Pikachu with a sharp beak is absolutely cursed. So, with our flying Pikachu, we faced off against Brassius. His first 2 grass types are pretty pathetic, so Pikachu can take them out with one fly, crushing both of his tiny plants. But Brassius' Sudowoodo is a serious threat. It knows Rock Throw, meaning that if I Terra into a flying type, Pikachu is going to be crushed by rocks. So I don't Terra and just go for Fly, but this barely does anything, and Trail Blaze from Sudowoodo hits my frail Pikachu like a truck. I have no choice but to Terra, allowing me to hit a boosted Fly, but it's still not enough. Pikachu is on the brink of death as Sudowoodo charges up a devastating Rock Throw, but Pikachu dodges it like an absolute hero. This lets me land one final fly on the next turn, finishing Sudowoodo and giving us an incredibly lucky badge number 2. My Pikachu must have inherited Ash's plot armor because that was insane. But if we needed that much luck just to beat the second gym, I'm really worried about how we're going to stand a chance against full teams of powerful Pokemon. But that's a problem for later. For now, the next Titan is the Flying Titan, and if there's one thing that Pikachu's good at, it's frying birds with electricity. So, Chef Pikachu stepped into the kitchen and cooked Bombardier with a barrage of high-voltage Electro Balls. Yes, this is one of the herbs I need to heal my Mabastiff. Did your Pikachu just eat my herbs? I think those herbs somehow made you even bigger. Just up ahead, we arrive at the first team starbase, and these star bosses are a nightmare in every challenge run that I try. But I believed in my Pikachu, and we had to try. So, we stepped up to Gyakumo, or as he's known in Korea, DJ Bad Boy. Very edgy. This battle was going really smooth, as I was able to max out my special attack with nasty plots against his Pawniard. I can then take out Pawniard really easily with Electro Ball, but the Starmobile that follows is a much bigger threat. Even with +6 special attack, my Electro Ball still can't do enough, as Pikachu is crushed by Snarl. We had lost again, so I made a new plan that revolved around a new move. Draining Kiss, which, yeah, Pikachu can actually learn for some reason. With my new kissing abilities, this time things would be different against Gyakumo. Just like last time, I have Pikachu max out its special attack before KOing Pawniard. But this time against the Starmobile, I use Draining Kiss, which not only does big super effective damage, but Draining Kiss also restores my health in the process. This deadly combo allows Pikachu to survive just long enough to land 3 attacks, giving the Starmobile the kiss of death. See you later, DJ Bad Boy. After Pikachu fried the brains of more ducks, we made our way to Levincia for the next gym. Nemona forces us into a battle, and I just love how my big papa Pikachu ascends from the ground like some kind of final boss zombie. Oh god, it's you again! Pikachu, give this imposter the kiss of death. After Pikachu does what he does best, electrocuting another duck, we'd crushed Nemona and can move on to the third gym. Ew, a streamer. Imagine being a content creator. How cringe would that be? Oh my god, another Pikachu clone. We're about to be so rich from all these identity theft lawsuits. You would expect this gym to be an epic 4v1 showdown between electric types. However, Iono leads with a tiny electric bird who is literally useless against my chonky Pikachu. This gives me the chance to easily max out Pikachu's special attack with Nasty Plot. From here, our Chunky Chew can easily wipe through Iono's first 3 Pokemon with some deadly Draining Kisses. Iono's electrified Miss Magius is last, and while it does confuse Pikachu, it should also be pretty easy to deal with as long as we don't hit ourselves. Of course that happens with my luck, and Pikachu falls as a result. Okay, we were really unlucky there, but surely this time we'll be able to... Never mind. Next attempt, and... Stop hitting yourself! Eventually, I had the tiniest crumb of luck as Pikachu stopped being a derpy oaf and finally landed the 3 Draining Kisses needed to slay Miss Magius, giving us an incredibly frustrating third badge. Now go and smash that subscribe button. Yeah, or else. That battle sucked, but fortunately, our next one against the giant goofy Girthworm Titan is much simpler. Pikachu can use Charm to nerf its attack into the dirt, before getting the job done by slapping it across the face with a barrage of Pikachu's Electro Balls. Ah, finally another Herba Mystica. Now I can heal my beloved Mastiff and... Again? Are you kidding me? I can't help it. Pikachu's a chunky growing boy. And in case you haven't noticed, our Pikachu is insanely talented because not only can it fly, but our boy can also surf, which means that this surf TM is going to be incredibly useful as next we have to take on the fire type Team Starboss. And I got utterly destroyed over and over again. I couldn't even make it past Mela's Torkoal. This challenge was getting rough, but I still believed in my chunky mascot. So instead, I decided to take on the 4th gym since Kofu's water types are a much better matchup. Alright Red, did you buy me that rare seaweed like I asked? I did, but then Pikachu ate it. Ugh, I'm gonna cook that rat if it's the last thing I do. This is a crucial part of the challenge because here we can find ourselves the Thunderbolt TM, one of Pikachu's iconic powerful moves. And this would be the key to beating Kofu and his one singular brow. Because after setting up a single nasty plot against Kofu's Veluza, our supercharged Super Mouse goes absolutely wild, electrocuting every single one of Kofu's water types with a deadly barrage of Thunderbolts. We fried the big man down to size, giving us a clean 4th badge. Things had been going well, but Pikachu had some seriously difficult challenges in front of us, including 2 Team Star bosses and a ground-type Titan who absolutely horrifies me. I know from previous attempts that Mela just destroys us, but now I have a new plan, and it involves some real villainous behavior. After teaching Pikachu the move Thief, I have my yellow mouse cannibalize his own kind, using Thief on a million Pikachu until we finally find one with a light ball, which we gladly swipe. This item is massive for us. It only works with Pikachu, and it gives us a 50% increase to both of our attack stats. And this is a vital part of my plan to finally take down Mela. On turn 1, I nasty plot to give Pikachu a special attack boost. We comfortably survive a Flame Wheel from Torkoal before a Thunderbolt on the next turn zaps that turtle into its grave. This leaves only the Starmobile, who outspeeds Pikachu and lowers our defense with Screech. Pikachu then charges up a big Thunderbolt and just falls short of getting the KO. With my lowered defense, we are absolutely dead to an attack. However, Pikachu has a trick up his sleeve, as we can move first with a priority quick attack, which is just enough to finish off the Starmobile, finally giving us our revenge over Mela. Our Pikachu had really powered up, so I thought we stood a decent chance at taking on the next Titan, Great Tusk. Until it just straight up immediately crushed Pikachu with a single rapid spin. Even Pikachu was shocked. I mean, look at his poor face. Despite that, I knew it was possible to beat Great Tusk. We just needed some luck. But this wasn't happening, and poor Pikachu got crushed over and over again. Our mouse was in rough shape, until I finally had some luck go my way. This time, on turn 1, I terrestrialized Pikachu to give us a resistance against Great Tusk's ground and fighting moves. Tusk lands a rapid spin, which does enormous damage, but crucially, Pikachu's static ability activates, paralyzing the giant elephant. After a charm harshly nerfs Tusk's attack, Pikachu is in the driver's seat, as Draining Kiss does decent damage, while also giving Pikachu some solid recovery. The nerfs we inflicted onto Great Tusk means that Pikachu can just survive long enough to land a 3rd Draining Kiss, slaying the ancient elephant once and for all. Pikachu was battered and bruised, but somehow we'd beaten another boss. Ooh, look at all these food places. Wait, Pikachu, no! Oh my god, how did you manage to get even bigger? I think my Pikachu is broken. My little Greedon. Little? Ma'am, your Greedon is almost as chunky as my Pikachu. The 5th gym battle takes place in a restaurant, which is basically a home field advantage for our gluttonous rat. On turn 1, I have Pikachu use Substitute, as this protects us from status moves like the Yawn that is then attempted by Larry's Kamala. This gives Pikachu the chance to nasty plot, and from here, our Pikachu is fully charged, with powerful Thunderbolts absolutely frying all of Larry's normies one after another. That's 3 more victims for my colossal Pikachu, and that win gives us our 5th gym badge. Alright Red, I demand a rematch. Ha, you got it. Pikachu, go! Pikachu just completely fell right through the earth, so I instantly lost. But Geeta still gives us the Terra Blast TM, so it's not all bad. Anyway, after Pikachu eventually resurfaced, we made our way to the Poison Team's starbase. And just like against Larry, this one is straightforward. We can use Pikachu's substitute to get around Skuntank's Toxic and Sucker Punch, as well as use Nasty Plot to prevent Sucker Punch from landing. With an agility also giving me a speed boost, this makes the fight very clean, with an onslaught of Thunderbolts crushing Atticus to pieces. Honestly, after how rough the last two Team Star bosses were, I'm just relieved that this one went smoothly. But as smooth as that was, Pikachu's next battle was going to be rough. After giving Pikachu some warmer clothes, we trekked up the snowy mountains to the town of Montenevera. I've never seen such a blatant ripoff of Pikachu's style. My lawyers will be in touch. The next gym is here, and this one is a nightmare because it's a 2 versus 1. Although, I'm forced to bring a second Pokemon to even begin the fight. So, I went and found a perfect Pika-sized punching bag in this little Pichu. You disgust me. Thinking you can take Pikachu's mascot spot with your cute looks? I caught the tiny mouse and named it Trash, just like God intended. So, with my new mouse duo, we stepped up to face Rhyme and got crushed many times. As intended, our punching bag Pichu dies instantly, and with Pikachu being so frail, we get ganged up on by Rhyme's ghosts, and it's just way too hard to survive. It was obvious that to beat this gym, we were gonna have to go big brain mode. Alright, new plan. Sir, I think you may want to get that eye checked out. Oh my god, it's another Pikachu imposter! Kill it! Our new plan to deal with Rhyme goes like this. On turn 1, I immediately Terrastalize and have Pikachu Nasty Plot for a special attack boost. Our useless Pichu dies without doing anything, and Pikachu tanks a Shadow Sneak from Banette. And this is where our plan really takes off, because since we Terrastalized, the crowd starts to cheer, giving us a +1 in every single stat. Now our Pikachu has some insane boosts, although we are still in a 2 versus 1. But to get around this, I use a new move, Discharge. This is important as Discharge hits everyone else on the field. So, on the next turn, Discharge crushes Banette while also breaking Mimikyu's disguise. And because I got a KO, the crowd gives me another stat boost. Now our Pikachu was insanely cracked, with a Discharge on the next turn picking up a double KO onto both of Rhyme's Pokemon. This leaves only her spooky Toxtricity, but Pikachu makes light work of it with another supercharged Discharge getting the kill. It was a bit of a struggle, but we got the win in the end, giving our Pikachu his 6th badge. Thanks for all your help, Pichu. Bye-bye. Pikachu had gotten a lot stronger since our journey started, and we were building up some real momentum. But we had some insane fights on the horizon where Pikachu would have to solo full teams of powerful Pokemon. Things were about to get much harder for our chunky yellow rat. But before that, we had the final 2 gyms to contend with. So our next stop was Alphanata to try and earn the Psychic Badge. After being absolutely embarrassed by Nemona's Lycanroc, we have to take the gym test. Alright, Red, show me an angry face. Okay, how about a happy face? Okay then. Pikachu, show me a surprised face. The gym leader, Tulip, uses powerful psychic types, and we need an absurd amount of luck to even stand a chance here. Tulip's big psychic giraffe is a physical pest, so we immediately hit it with Charm to nerf its attack. Luckily, it just sets up a Reflect, which is literally pointless. This guarantees that I can survive just long enough to set up 2 nasty plots on my chubby mouse. With +4 special attack, we can easily clean up Farigiraf with Thunderbolt, as well as the waifu bait Gardevoir that follows. With this much HP, I'm not in range of a quick attack, so Pikachu can also take care of Espathra. This leaves Tulip with only her Florges, but this thing is incredibly bulky, and even at +4 special attack, Thunderbolt won't be enough to take it out. So I have to furiously pray to Lord Helix for good RNG as I click Thunder, which thankfully connects, doing just enough damage to zap Florges into its grave, giving us a very lucky penultimate badge. Can I get some prayer emojis in the chat to praise and thank Lord Helix? Oh god, you are tiny. I'm pretty sure my gluttonous Pikachu could swallow you whole. Anyway, from here, we don't slow down, as right away, we head to Glaciado in search of our final badge. And as we stepped up to Grusha, I was hoping that this would be an easy fight, until our Pikachu was instantly demolished by a blizzard from Grusha's very first Pokemon. It wasn't even close. It's just never easy with you, is it? Once again, I was gonna need some help from our fossil friend in the sky. On turn 1, I set up a nasty plot as Frostmoth uses Tailwind. This doubles the speed of Grusha's Pokemon for 4 turns, and I absolutely need to stall this out. Protecting gets me through the second turn, but on the third turn, I just have to pray that Frostmoth misses its blizzard, and thank Lord Helix it does. This lets me survive the third turn, while also getting up another nasty plot. One more protect could stall out the final Tailwind turn, meaning that Pikachu is now back to being the fastest on the field. With all that luck, now Pikachu is ready to roll, with our boosted Thunderbolts crushing Grusha's Pokemon, brutally electrifying them until they're melted down into a mere puddle. Once again, thank you Lord Helix for blessing us with our 8th and final badge. Hurry up and get to my rank. I'm itching for a battle of equals. Equals? I only have a fat rat. How is this a battle of equals? But before the Pokemon League, we still have some tough battles to take care of. And first up is the final Titan, Dondozo. It may be a giant whale, but we have a giant rat. Since Dondozo is a water type, Pikachu can easily fry the oversized fish with a few Thunderbolts. Then we have to take on the undersized fish Tatsugiri, who's so small that you can't even see it from behind Pikachu's chunky frame. Tatsugiri is a bit more problematic since it's a water dragon, meaning it isn't weak to electric. So instead, I have Pikachu use Draining Kiss, which is good against dragons, while also giving me that sweet, sweet recovery. This works perfectly as it lets Pikachu survive multiple hits, hanging around just long enough to give Tatsugiri one last kiss of death. Okay, these camera angles are really way too zoomed in. Finally, the only remaining Herba Mystica. This is the key to healing my beloved Mastiff. Did your Pikachu just, yep, I'll kill you! Gotta run! We'll deal with Arven's murderous intentions later, but for now, we have 2 more Team Star bosses to deal with. Alright, Pikachu, let's go over the— Oh my god, why are you so big? I think all that Herba Mystica is turning you into a Titan, Pikachu. I see the grunts have been dealt with. Yep, we handled it very peacefully. Ortega and his fairy types are tough. We're outnumbered 4-1, and Pikachu is only a few levels higher than his Pokemon. I didn't think that we stood much of a chance as is, but little did I know, this battle was going to be insane. Talk about underwhelming. I was expecting someone a little more beefed up. I'm pretty sure my Chonky Chew is as beefy as they come, thank you very much. If we want any chance against Ortega, we have to set up against this huge power Azumarill. I nasty plot on turn 1, and thankfully, Azumarill misses its play rough. Then, on the next turn, I get another nasty plot in as Ortega uses Charm, which does literally nothing to me. After a third nasty plot, Azumarill finally connects with a huge Aqua Tail, and Pikachu just survives on 2 HP. We got so lucky to even make it this far, but I need to recover some health, so use Draining Kiss, but just fall short of finishing Azumarill. However, the HP I recovered is just enough to let Pikachu barely survive one more Aqua Tail. Pikachu was hanging on for dear life, but one more Draining Kiss can finish Azumarill, and thankfully, it only takes one more to KO the Wigglytuff it follows, bringing our Pikachu back to full health. At the moment, I'm still slower than the Starmobile, so as Dash Bun emerges, I use an agility to boost my speed. We're then hit by a big play rough, and once again, Pikachu just hangs in there. Our yellow mouse was clutching up. From here, a Draining Kiss just doesn't finish Dash Bun, but after tanking one more play rough, the delicious-looking puppy goes down on the following turn. This leaves only the Starmobile, and Pikachu is not in good shape. Although, thanks to our speed boost, Pikachu is faster, and we can land another Draining Kiss for solid damage, while also bringing us back to full health. We're hit by a Steel Roller, but Pikachu tanks it like a champ, and at this range, one final supercharged Thunderbolt is all it takes to send that giant car to the scrap heap. We had so many close calls there, but somehow our chunky hero clutched up for the win on our very first try. How could I lose? Ortega, you were up against Gigachu plot armor. You never stood a chance. That battle was insane, and now there's only one more Team Star boss. But Eri and her fighting types are easily the toughest of the lot. She has a stacked roster, but we have a secret weapon in the form of our flying Pikachu. Even with our winged rat, this is still an insanely tough fight though. Her Toxicroak lead is too strong to set up against, and we just got clapped over and over again by poison jabs. This stupid frog was making things very difficult, so I needed a new plan. This time, I have Pikachu immediately set up a nasty plot, and as long as her Toxicroak doesn't poison us, Pikachu can just survive one hit. But I can't take another hit, so I have no choice but to Terrastallize Pikachu before firing off Terra Blast, which becomes a flying type move that crushes Toxicroak in one shot. Next is Annihilate, and this guy is way too dangerous. I fire off another Terra Blast, and thankfully this is just enough to take it down. Persimmon has a pretty pathetic special defense stat, so I use this chance to land a super effective Draining Kiss, crushing the monkey in one shot while also recovering HP. Eri's Lucario is dangerous, but it only knows 3 special moves, which Pikachu can tank reasonably well. This lets me set up an agility for the speed boost before crushing Lucario with 2 Draining Kisses after that. This leaves only the Starmobile, but thanks to our boosts, a Draining Kiss does just less than half of its HP. Eri tries to set up a Shift Gear, but it's not enough, as one final boosted Terra Blast from our winged rat is all it takes to finish off the giant car, giving Pikachu the win over the final Team Star boss. We'd come a long way from a tiny little Pikachu who couldn't even beat up a crab to a chunky Gigachu who could solo one of the hardest bosses in the game. And from here, things only get harder as we have some insane challenges on the horizon. But first, we have to deal with Mr. Mummy Issues, Arvin. You killed my dog! I can't help it. Pikachu's a hungry, growing boy. I'm gonna crush that rat. We'll have to beat Arvin's final team, but fortunately, he leads with a chunky squirrel who knows Earthquake. We can take advantage of this by Terrastalizing into a flying type to nullify the incoming Earthquake. This gives me an opening to set up 2 nasty plots before sweeping through literally all of Arvin's team with Thunderbolt and Draining Kiss. My Pikachu is so thick that you can barely even see the dominance taking place. With Arvin taken care of, we turned our attention towards Team Star. Please, defeat Cassiopeia for me. Why should I? Because if you do, I'll give Pikachu a cookie. Say less. Nothing personal, kid, but a cookie's a cookie. Despite being the big-brained mastermind behind Team Star, Penny is still an idiot. Because, for some reason, she has her Umbreon lead spam Baby Doll Eyes against my special attacking Pikachu. This makes it really easy for my Gigachu to set up nasty plots before sweeping her entire team into the trash with an onslaught of Draining Kisses, Thunderbolts, and Terra Blasts. You've defeated me, and now I must reveal my tragic backstory. No thank you. I'm just here for the cookies. Alright, Red, deal's a deal. 1 like equals 1 cookie for your chunky Gigachu. With Arvin and Team Star in the trash, now our one singular mouse would have to try and conquer the entire Paldean Pokemon League all on its own. Now tell me, Red, which of these was your starter Pokemon? I don't see Fat Electric Rat listed anywhere here. Anyway, once the quiz is taken care of, we're clear to begin challenging the Elite Four. First up is Rika with a deadly team of ground types, which would normally be an absolute nightmare for a Pikachu. However, I have a few tricks up my sleeve. Her Whiscash lead is free real estate, as a single quad-effective Trailblaze can take it down immediately. This brings out Donphan, which is by far the biggest threat on her team, since it knows Earthquake and can't be taken out in one shot. Since I know an Earthquake is coming, my only option is to Terrastalize and hit another Trailblaze to break the sturdy. Thanks to my Terra, I dodge the incoming Earthquake, then on the next turn, Pikachu once again pulls out his Surfboard, with a Surf absolutely crushing Donphan on the spot. And from here, our Pikachu kept catching waves, as Surf is enough to crush both Camerupt as well as the Doug trio that follows. Although, last is a very derpy and very chunky Clodsire. I can't surf on it since it has the water absorb ability, but I can still kiss it, and a few Draining Kisses are all it takes to wipe away that poisonous oath. That's Rika defeated, and it's insane that a Pikachu could somehow solo a ground-type trainer. Pikachu, sorry about, making you kiss that. But things don't get any easier, as next up is another deadly trainer, Poppy. She's so tiny that she wouldn't even be an entree for my giant Gigachu. Her steel types are insanely tough, so to stand any chance, we're gonna have to whip out the cheese. Poppy leads with this giant metal elephant who knows high horsepower. So, like usual, we Terra into a flying type to make the ground move miss. However, here is where things get evil, because now I use Encore, a move that forces my opponent to keep on using the same move as the last turn, which means that Copperaja will be locked into high horsepower, which doesn't even hit my flying rat. Pikachu is big, but he's also got a big brain too. This plan makes it free for me to max out my special attack with Nasty Plot before electrocuting Copperaja into the dirt. Annoyingly, Poppy's Magnezone is next, and it survives a hit as well as sets up Light Screen. I need that screen gone, so I Encore again, locking Magnezone into Light Screen, which fails since one is already up. This lets me stall out the Light Screen, so now I can safely take Magnezone out. Poppy's Corviknight and Bronzong both go down to a single supercharged Thunderbolt, leaving Poppy with only Tinkaton. The Steel Bonkinator somehow survives a hit before hitting me with a super effective Stone Edge, and Pikachu just hangs on before one last Thunderbolt can fry Poppy's final Pokemon, giving us an insanely tough clutch win. But our next fight is a lot simpler, and I'm about to put the L in Larry. He uses flying types, I have an electric type Gigachu. You can guess exactly how this went. We Thunderbolted all over his birds, shooting them out of the sky one by one with 1,000,000 volts. Quick and clean. What's not quick and clean is Hassel. He's our first real hurdle of the Elite Four. His dragons are insanely strong, and they resist electric moves, making this even tougher. What's worse is that there's no easy way for us to set up on his lead Noivern. Believe me, I tried over and over again, but Pikachu just got stomped on every single time. But then, I had an idea. I just needed a little luck to go my way. On this attempt, as always, I can survive one hit from Noivern, but then I use Nuzzle to paralyze Noivern. This makes Pikachu faster, so I set up a Nasty Plot on the next turn. If Noivern hits me here, I instantly die. But thank God, on this try, it was fully paralyzed. This lets me survive another turn, so I can land a super effective Draining Kiss to finish Noivern in one shot while recovering back to full. Problem is, Pikachu still isn't powerful enough to deal with the rest of Hassel's demonic dragons. So, I have to use another Nasty Plot against Dragalge and just pray that I survive a hit. Thankfully I do, but Pikachu is poisoned in the process, which makes this really tricky. Draining Kiss does just over half to Dragalge, and the recovery we get is just enough for Pikachu to survive a hit, but the poison damage leaves us on only 5 HP. Our Gigachu is on the brink of death, but one more Draining Kiss finishes Dragalge, giving us enough recovery to survive the poison. And since the rest of Hassel's dragons are all weak to Fairy, our Speedy Mouse can give all of them the Kiss of Death with some boosted Draining Kisses sweeping through the rest of Hassel's dragons, finally giving Pikachu the win over the last Elite Four member. Yeah, our one single Pikachu just beat the entire Paldean Elite Four. Gigachu was on an absolute tear, but the job wasn't done yet, because now we had to take on the champion. It was a showdown between the face of the franchise and the newest champion. Trainer, I hope you bought your strongest 6 Pokemon. About that, I've only got my trusty rat. Just a rat? This'll be the easiest champion defense of all time then. Oh, we'll see about that. This battle is going to be tough because Geeta leads with a Sparthra, who has the Opportunist ability. This means that when I boost my stats with Nasty Plot, it gets to copy those boosts as well. So I have to take it out quickly. After Nasty Plotting on turn 1, I have no choice but to just pray to Lord Helix that Geeta does something stupid. And thank God she does, as Geeta has her oversized chicken set up a worthless Reflect. This gives me a tiny opening to land a Thunderbolt on the next turn, taking down a Sparthra. But Geeta still has 5 tough Pokemon, and Pikachu isn't strong enough to take them all down. At least yet, because next, Geeta sends in her Avalugg, and it knows Earthquake. This means we can Terra into a flying type to dodge the Earthquake, buying us an extra turn to set up another Nasty Plot. Now our Gigachu was at +4 special attack, and it is an absolute powerhouse. With a string of Thunderbolts, our flying Pikachu can zap the living daylights out of Avalugg, King Gambit, and the Veluza that follows. After a Terra Blast decimates her Go-Go, Geeta was down to only her Glamora, but it too can't handle the intensity of Pikachu's electricity, as one more Thunderbolt demolishes the poisonous rock. With that, our chunky Pikachu had somehow soloed the entire Paldean Pokemon League, claiming the crown of champion all for himself. Easiest defense ever, eh? Shut up, that Pikachu has to be on performance enhancers. I want an investigation. But our two biggest battles of the game still remained. The first of which is the final showdown with Nemona. Alright Nemona, I've sent you hundreds of legal notices, but you leave me no choice. As punishment for your electric mouse trying to steal Pikachu's likeness, Pikachu is going to eat your entire team. Except it wasn't that simple. Nemona has a stacked team, and she was definitely gonna put up a fight, especially because her Lycanroc is a pest. It knows Stone Edge and Drill Run, which means that even if I Terra to dodge a Drill Run, I can still die to a Stone Edge. And that's exactly what happened, as my poor Pikachu got utterly destroyed on our first few attempts. However, eventually I finally got a little bit of luck. On this attempt, I immediately Terastallized, and Lycanroc tries to Drill Run, which obviously fails. I then hit it with Encore, turning the big scary wolf into a tiny harmless little pup. Our trademark Encore lock lets Pikachu boost all the way to +6 special attack with Nasty Plot. And from here, it's a familiar story, with Gigachu feasting on Lycanroc, crushing it with a single Thunderbolt. Oh dear god, it's the imposter! Pikachu, teach this copycat a lesson. Identity theft is not a joke, Pormot. I was ready to sweep through Nemona's team as I hit Goodra with a Draining Kiss, but it somehow survived. It then charged up an Ice Beam, which was going to devastate my flying Pikachu, and we barely lived a hit on only 8 HP. Pikachu was so close to death. With low HP and a dream, one more Draining Kiss finally finished Goodra. Nemona's Slug, the Dunsparce, goes down to a single Thunderbolt, as does her Metal Slug, Orthworm. This leaves only her Quaquaval. But if there's one thing that Pikachu is good at, it's destroying ducks. And with one more Thunderbolt, we fry that duck with 1,000,000 volts, giving Pikachu an insanely close win over Nemona's final team. Alright Pikachu, it's time to feast. My Pokemon! He ate all of them! And look how big he's gotten! Oh my god, what kind of monster have I unleashed? Ew, a Raichu. Only the cowardly Pikachu take the Thunderstone route to power. Our Gigachu had made some powerful enemies along our journey, and they'd all conspired to forge a plan to finally crush my giant rat. You and Pikachu have gone too far this time. Yeah, we've built an AI robot who's gonna teach you a lesson, and then we're gonna use the time machine to get rid of your fat Pikachu once and for all. You may have an unbeatable AI robot and literal time machine hacks, but I have a chunky mouse. This would be Pikachu's final test. Sada has a stacked roster of 6 powerful Pokemon, all with stats that are essentially pseudo-legends. And all we have is our one little mouse. This battle is insanely hard. I tried so many times to set up on Sada's Slitherwing, but it's just too powerful, and my poor Pikachu was getting crushed over and over again. One of the biggest problems is that this thing knows Low Sweep, a move which lowers my speed. And if that happens, I instantly lose because I absolutely need to be faster than Sada's Pokemon to even stand a chance. Despite that, at level 75, my Pikachu couldn't even survive 2 hits. Even after turning into a flying type to weaken its fighting and bug moves, we'd just get crushed by Slitherwing's Zen Headbutt. I was trying so many different strategies, and the L's just kept on piling up. Until this attempt, because this time, Slitherwing didn't use Low Sweep, and it was paralyzed by Pikachu's static ability. And crucially, it was then unable to move on the next turn. For the first time, this gives me the chance to safely get Pikachu to +4 special attack. Then, with one Draining Kiss, we can finally take down Slitherwing. Now I was ready to sweep through Sada's team with our boosted Gigachu, until Fluttermane arrived. Somehow, it outspeeds me and instantly destroys my flying Pikachu with Power Gem. We were so close! I hate you, stupid speedy ghost. I needed so much luck to even make it past Slitherwing, only to get decimated by Sada's very next Pokemon. The situation was looking grim. Pikachu desperately needed a speed boost, so I gave it a Timid Mint to change its nature. Once again, I was back in RNG hell, losing attempt after attempt, usually due to Slitherwing lowering my speed. but I was determined to take Pikachu all the way. So, after raising Pikachu to level 80, I kept on trying, despite constantly losing. But I just needed one lucky attempt to go my way, and little did I know, Lord Helix was about to bless us. On this attempt, I immediately terrestrialize and set up a nasty plot like usual. Slitherwing hits me with a lunge before I use another nasty plot to get Pikachu to +4. Slitherwing then charges up its Zen Headbutt and Pikachu just survives this time on only 15 HP. A super effective Draining Kiss on the next turn destroys Slitherwing, while also giving us nearly all of our HP back. This brings out the deadly Flutter Mane, but thanks to my timid nature, I just outspeed the spooky ghost, crushing it with Thunderbolt. Against Sandy Shocks, Pikachu whips out his surfboard for one last time, surfing all over the prehistoric magnet for a quick KO, before Screamtail also falls to a Thunderbolt. Sarda's Brute Bonnet is next, and this sussy Pokemon does huge damage with a priority Sucker Punch, but a Draining Kiss takes care of business. Now only Roaring Moon remained, but this thing is 4 times weak to Fairy. So, with one last Draining Kiss, our Gigachu gives this dragon the almighty kiss of death. With that, Sarda was defeated, and our one single chubby Pikachu had crushed Pokemon Scarlet all by himself. Jump into this video next for more Pokemon content, and remember that 1 like equals 1 cookie for our chunky Gigachu. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.